It's me, Sailor Mini Moon here, and today I'm gonna talk about, you know, this one thing that, well, happens, but so it's not really anything that happens, but it's more of looking at two shows. Now, I know I have made film many time here, you know, get this out of here. I know I made films many times talking about, you know, uh, the many things between Power Rangers or Strength Keepers and Sailor Moon. And why? Because there are some things that are the same between the shows, and there are a lot of things that are not the same. Well, the first thing being one show is a live show, or a live filmed show, and the other one is a live drawing show. So right there, that would be the big unlikeness between the two. And the truth that the Power Rangers or Strength Keepers have about nine between followings under their belt, soon to be 20 and 20, soon to be, uh, soon to be 20 and 21, which at the end of the day is a big deal. Now, beyond that, in Power Rangers, I think in every following, the fiends grow big, and then they have to have a fight and a big toll to take them down. In Sailor Moon, that didn't happen. Well, there were times where it did, but it didn't happen many times. Didn't happen as didn't happen as many times as it happened. In the Power Rangers, that was an everyday thing. Yeah, there was a time where Sailor Moon fought Queen Beryl when Queen Metalia became one with her. There was a time where they fought Emerald after Wise Man had shifted Emerald into a Lindworm. But beyond those two times, once you beat the Fiend, that was it. The Fiend of the Week, or whatever you want to call it, was dead, done. They didn't, Queen Beryl or Alan and Ann at the time, or Prince Diamond, which actually he was actually working for the Wise Men, didn't know at the time. Um, Doctor Tomo, who was just being and Queen Metalia, and Queen Helena didn't say, "Oh, fuck you, make my fiend grow." Well, it never happened, you know. Now, in the Power Rangers, that was a every following thing. There were maybe only a small chunk, only small followings where it did not happen, but it did. Now, someone's going to say, what about SPD? Yeah, in SPD, they really didn't grow that much. In there, the foes would have a tool, and then the foe would fight the keepers and their tool, but I think that was just, I think that was, them seeking something new, but they felt if it wasn't broken, if it's not broken, don't heal it. But some things that were the same between the show, if you look beyond some of the things that are very thing, is that at least at MPR, all the other followings of the Rangers don't really hold them, unless you look at MPR. That may have been the only one that was the only one. Was the only one that a lot of things happened on it that did happen in Sailor Moon. Like, okay, Darien getting brain led by Queen Beryl after she put a spell on him. The same way Rita Repulsa would take Tommy in and do the same thing to him. So right there you had another thing that was the same. And the only grounds to why that was the same was that I believe Nako Takaguchi, she was a follower of Overteam at the time, and that's which that got her into her take on Sailor Moon and felt that she could make a woman offshoot of it. And then the Power Rangers Strength Keepers was fostered from Overteam, so right there's probably two grounds to why those two things came out the same way. Um, you know, at first, the Green Ranger or the White Ranger showing up and helping the other Rangers or Keepers the same way that Tuxedo Max would show up and help the other Sailor Fighters. But in the beginning, that was true. But then over the time, Tuxedo Max seemed to help Sailor Moon the same way that the Green Keeper, soon to be the White Keeper, would do for, the rest of the other Keepers, but also for the Pink one. So there was a lot of going on. There was, the same way Darien as Tuxedo Max would help Serena as Sailor Moon, the same way that Tommy as a Green, soon the White Ranger would help Kimberly as the Pink Ranger, and Catherine as the Pink Ranger later on too. Uh, but yeah, yeah. So I believe there was a lot of things that were the same between both shows. But even though, yeah, both shows have a lot that are the same, they do got a lot of things that are not the same. You know, I just would talk. I just if you, I already talked about some of the things that make them not the same, like like a Fiend and Tool fight, what would always happen at the end of every following. Not all of them, but a lot of them, but many of it was something that didn't happen on Sailor Moon. You know, um, another thing that was another thing. Now there may, yeah, but at the end of the day, the show does have a lot. Both shows have a many things that are the same between them. Not that they were fostered from over team, and that may be a big thing between the two. Is that at the end of the day, both of them were fostered or offshooted from over team. But then again, so was every other, almost every other uh, team of over good doers that shapeshifted, you know, were either offshooted or fostered from that. Um, well, not all of them, but a lot of them were. So at the end of the day, Sailor Moon and the Power Rangers do have a lot of things that are the same and a lot of things that are not the same. Both shows in the early days and even now had to give outstanding outstanding words at the end of their followings. You know, the Strength Keepers would do this. Sailor Moon would do this. They would say now a word from the Strength Keepers, the Power Rangers, whatever you want to call it. And then Sailor Moon had Sailor Moon Says. Um, Now there was one more thing that was before I end this film. One more thing I believe that both shows had that weren't the same between each other was ownership. Sailor Moon was owned halfly by Toei, and where Power Rangers Dreamkeeper went from Siobhan to Disney, Siobhan and Hasbro. I don't really, you know, but at the end of the day, there are a lot of things. Well, in the first following of both shows, there are both followings of shows. There are a lot between them, and in the later followings, you could seek a lot of things that were the same between them too. So, but I already talked about some of the things that if you watch the first two followings of both shows, you would see a lot of things that were the same. So anyway, let me know what your thought is about Power Rangers and Sailor Moon. A lot of things being the same and a lot of things not being the same between them. Sailor Moon. The last film we made yesterday is over here with Sailor Venus and her sleeping hang up. Or follow us here at Sailor Moon for Life. I'm Sailor Moon. I'm Sailor Small Moon Reenie. Hope you like this film.